What it is, it's your boy Dutch the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch. I want to send a big shout out to the brother Ralph Adams. This brother sent his hard-earned money and blessed the channel through Cash App. This brother don't just watch the channel, he support the channel, Ralph Adams. Just stay locked in, pimp. I got us. Appreciate you. At the tender age of 4 years old, Odell sat on the back seat of a shot-up car, screaming and crying at the top of her lungs, "Mommy, Mommy!" as her mother, Ophelia'S lifeless body, riddled with bullet holes, stretched across the front seat. The car was in reverse, but it had crashed into a pole, engine still running. Odell watched the dude Angelo run off with the duffel bag full of money after he shot her mother and sped off in a van. Odell couldn't stop crying. When the police got on the scene, Odell had climbed into the front seat and was hugging her dead mother. When they tried to separate her, she was screaming and hollering, "No, Mommy, no!" Eventually, they pulled Ophelia'S body from the car and took her daughter down to the station. Odell was traumatized. Seeing her mother get shot in the head right in front of her put her in a state of shock. They tried to question her, but she just kept saying, "Mommy, Mommy." So once they realized who Ophelia actually was and that she was on the run, Miami Vice had to contact Baltimore City Police Department and let them know they found Ophelia down here dead. Once the word got out, shit sprawled all across the news in Baltimore. When Ophelia'S family was notified, Odell was transported back to Baltimore, Maryland, and put into the custody of her grandmother, Miss Helen, who was Ophelia'S mom. But anyway, that lived over East Baltimore in Douglas Homes, Douglas Projects. Odell's father, Kenny, was murdered by his mother. Oddly, because of this, Odell's grandmother wouldn't let her around her father's side of the family. It was some hostility there. Her grandmother was very, very strict. This was one of the main reasons why Ophelia left home so early in life. At the age of 16, she was out the door, working and taking care of her own self, because Miss Helen wouldn't let her do anything. Couldn't have no personal life. Everything was about church. She couldn't have no boyfriend, nothing. But anyway, Miss Helen was an older lady, 76 years old, and wasn't in the best of health. Not only was she taking care of Odell, but she had Ophelia'S brother, Pumpkin, 2 children there as well. He had a son and a daughter who were around the same age as Odell. Pumpkin was doing life in prison for bank robbery and murder. So Miss Helen had her hands full in that little project house. 76 years old, raising 3 small kids with no help. Well, when Ophelia was 10 years old, her grandmother, Miss Helen, passed away. And her cousins had to go to foster care. What it is, it's your boy Dutch the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch. I want to send a big shout out to the brother Greg Owens. This brother sent his hard-earned money again, bless the channel through Cash App. This brother don't just watch the channel, he support the channel. Greg Owens, just stay locked in, pimp. I got us. Appreciate you. On Harford Road in East Baltimore, Odell was taken to a foster care facility called Children's Choice in the heart of the trenches. It was greatly overcrowded. The children slept 4 beds to a room. Because Odell was so pretty, she had problems with some of the other girls there. Her honey brown skin and long curly hair made her look like the perfect doll. But Odell was no pushover. If provoked, she beat up girls twice her size. She had her mother's spirit, a fighter spirit. There was one girl in particular she always bumped heads with, named Sharice. Sharice's family perished in a house fire, where she was the only survivor. She had a temper and a stealing problem. She was 11 years old and had been at Children's Choice for 2 years, with no success in being adopted into a family. She was very dark-skinned and heavyset, with short, nappy hair. Her self-esteem was low, so she would fight any girl who called her fat or black. Odell couldn't stand Sharice, and one day they had it out over a pair of sneakers that belonged to Odell coming up missing. It was a pair of Jordan number 2s. One of the girls told Odell that Sharice had told her sneakers, because Odell was going off in the room about her shit being stolen. She had went to the hospital for an ear infection, and when she came back, her Jordan 2s was gone. With this information, Odell approached Sharice and asked her did she have her Sharice responded by punching Odell on the chin, knocking her clean across the floor. But unfazed, Odell jumped straight up and jumped on Sharice like a wild beast, punching, scratching, and biting. Sharice was hollering for someone to get Odell off of her. Odell might have been a small potato, but she was hard to peel. But anyway, the staff broke the fight up and Sharice had to move to a different room. And after searching Sharice's belongings, the staff found Odell's Jordans and returned them to her. On her 13th birthday, Odell after being that children's choice for 3 years, was finally adopted into a family. It was a middle-aged couple who lived on North and Payson Street over West Baltimore. The couple had 4 other foster kids already staying there in the house. The house was pretty big with 4 bedrooms and a finished basement. Odell found it strange that the couple had adopted all girls, making her the 5th one. The couple had a long list of rules for all the girls to follow. And when I tell you these people were strict, they couldn't open the refrigerator, pick up the telephone, or even turn on a television in which there was only one in the whole house without asking the couple. The woman seemed mean, but the man was more friendly.